All right, wanted to do a quick video on the Old Town Salty 120 PDL. Really nice pedal kayak. This was my first pedal kayak. I was looking at a Hoodoo and I wound up going with the Salty. I found on sale. It had some scratches in it. Cedar Creek Outdoors, as you can see, there's one of them. They weren't bad at all. So I went for it. It was like 20% off. Got it for under 1,800 bucks. So it was a screaming deal. I've had canoes and kayaks before, but this is my first pedal drive kayak. So really liking it. I did like everybody else does and got the extras, the upgrades from Navarre and from Yak Hobby and stuff. So I guess I wanted to point them out. Some of them are pretty important. I think the most important are the anchor pin, which is basically the nut that goes back there. That's like $4 purchase. Definitely makes that rudder more stable. The rudder control knob, I think that's called. That's pretty key as well. That's the tall version of it. That's from Navarre. The floating prop nut as well. That's pretty key. I did that right off the bat. And the PDL spacers, which are right here, and they keep the PDL from moving side to side. Those are pretty important. Those are the upgrades I would suggest right off the bat. Seat risers, I went immediately with the rear riser because I didn't like the way the seat kind of angles back. But it affects the way you pedal. I didn't think about that because I never had a pedal drive before. So I got the rear seat risers first, but then it kind of makes your hamstrings kind of, go up in the air. Your legs kind of go up in the air, and it's uncomfortable to pedal that. So I got the front seat risers to match. I got 1 inch in the front, 1.5 in the back, and that's much more comfortable. Also raises the seat up, and you could fit some stuff underneath. As you can see, I have a pretty decent size plano underneath there, and I could put this pouch up front, which is really handy to have because there's no pouches on the Salty. So there's not a ton of places to put stuff. You just kind of make do. It's not too bad. There's a spot underneath here, which I don't find myself not using a whole bunch, but so that pouch is real handy. I have the Garmin Striker 4 fish finder on there. That's a pretty basic mount. That was the cheapest one. That's what I went with. But I used the Navarre scupper transducer holder there, scupper mount. And that runs through the hull using the Yak Gear through hull kit. And then it comes to here. And the battery is underneath here. I'll show you. Went with the Naqua. Actually, I went with a small one, the 4 amp battery. And that's Velcroed right there. And I could power it. I could just kind of plug it in. I have a power outlet right there, and I just plug it in every couple of trips. Even though it's just a 4 amp, it lasts a long time. So it's perfect for what I'm using it for. So, and yeah, so that's it for the fish finder. As you see, I have just got upgraded pedals for the PDL. My foot was slipping off, so I wound up just going with the mountain bike style pin pedals. I don't fish barefoot, so that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, rod holder. This I use for my net. Move back. Here's some storage behind the seat. This I got off of Amazon for like 15 bucks. It fits my extra prop, my other floating prop nut, and some other odds and ends back here. My crate, of course, a couple of rod holders on it, and just a little pouch. I put my, just odds and ends in there. Pretty handy to have. Pretty easy to reach back there. This kayak is stable. I've had a Sportsman 120, the paddle version. That was like a barge. That was really stable. But this thing is pretty stable too. It kind of gets a bad rap for being unstable, but it's not. It's definitely stable. So I really am digging it. It's a great first pedal kayak for sure. I really like this Malone Y-Trax cart I got for it. I was going to do a DIY cart, but I wound up finding this for like $100 on sale, so I went for it, and it's pretty heavy duty. It does a great job. I built a cart for the garage with some extra 2x4s I had laying around that holds it on a couple of bunks. Actually fits the kayak perfectly, so I've been using that. And that's pretty much it. It's an awesome kayak. The pedal drive was pretty tight. I will say it was a little more difficult to pedal than I expected at first. It's starting to loosen up now. The more I take it out, the more it kind of loosens up. And yeah, that's it. These tethers. The front seat risers come with these tethers from Yak Hobby, and they're supposed to keep the seat from moving side to side. It actually had some play in it, so I put a zip tie over here to kind of give it another inch, but you could, or half inch or whatever, but you could tether, I don't know, pliers to it or something, or you could do your paddle, which I don't have it tethered anywhere. The paddle is probably not a good idea, because you wind up using the paddle when you're launching and stuff. So I'm in real shallow water, but yeah, so far so good. Highly recommend it, and I don't have any issues with it. It's fast, it's stable, turns on a dime. For a first pedal kayak, I think it's fantastic. And when the PDL is down, there's tons of deck space up here. I haven't really tried standing up and fishing in this thing. I'm not really big into standing and fishing for some reason, but I can't imagine it would be a problem. Like I said, it's pretty stable. Then once you get used to the kayak itself and how it handles, and the rocker on it. But yeah, it handles, supposed to handle waves pretty well with this front end, and I feel like it does. It handles some rough water pretty well. So there you have it. Old Town Salty. Awesome kayak.